The impact of Chinese governance and the global power to influence is shown recent visit this week and last week to the Beijing from the United States and the Russia. The 15th periodic plan has also addressed the core values of the Chinese model of governance, along with many other issues, such as promoting significant advancements in high-quality development, substantial improvement in the scientific and technological self-reliance, strength in every sector, fresh breakthrough in further deepening reform comprehensively, notable cultural and ethical progress across the society, and further refinement in the quality of life via Beautiful China Initiative, Digital China Initiative, and Healthy China Initiative. This comprehensive approach of the periodic plans that mainly targeted for the Chinese characteristics socialism by 2035. So this comprehensive approach aims to foster sustainable and resilient society that prioritizes the well-being of the citizen while addressing the nation's stability and growth issues. By integrating these core values, the plan lays foundation for a more prosperous future and enhance China's roles in the global space from the economic and governance approach. Enhancing global governance is the right choice for each international community to share in development opportunity and address the global challenges of all. President Xi's perspective on the global development, governance, security, and cooperation is articulated through the 5 major principles of the Belt and Road Initiatives, represent significant effort in connect and collaborate with over 150 nations. The 5 overarching priorities across the globe, among the member countries. Indeed, Chinese leaders call this as a whole process people's democracy, a model that emphasizes consultation, grassroots participation in all sectors, and result-oriented governance practice. As distinct from the competitive electoral democracy, the critics questions the approach about the accountability mechanism within its model, but proponents point to measurable outcomes in the infrastructure that leads the world poverty eradications at unprecedented scales and rising living standard for hundreds of millions of people in the country. Likewise, the concept of harmonious society, the idea that social cohesion, collective well-being, and national unity take primacy over individualism. This Confucius inflected philosophy shaped not only domestic policy, but also China's worldview on international space, how the governance and development should be integrated. The principle of long-termism, stability, collective interest, and pragmatic result do not stay within China's border. They travel with China's diplomat, its development finance, and its global initiative across the world. After 2015, China has moved from a largely reactive participant in international affairs to a proactive architect of new global frameworks. A series of major initiatives define this ambition via the BRI, GDI, GSI, GCI, and GGI itself, what we are talking today. The China floored OR, now BRI in 2013. And this is perhaps China's most ambitious framework for global governance. As already shared now more than 150 countries are part of accounting 51.9% of total China's international trade, a clear signal of how this is deeply linked and integrated to the global economy. More than 19,000 foreign invested in enterprises from the BRI partners countries were newly established in China in 2025 alone. On year-on-year basis, it is the increasing rate of 14.7%. For many developing nations, particularly in the Global South, that one of the part of discussion is today, Global South and BRI has offered something that traditional Western-led institutions often could not: fast financing, minimal coordinate, and tangible result from the existing practice of resources and institutional setup. Another initiative proposed by 2021 by the presidency, the Global Development Initiative, the GDI represents China's response to a dangerous global development gap worsened by the COVID-19 pandemic and compounding crisis after that. The GDI calls for reminding the commitments to the United Nations 2030 Sustainable Development Goal with 6 core principles. Development should be prioritized, people-centric approach, benefit to all communities, innovation-driven, harmonies between nature and human, and the result-oriented again. So every effort we made for that should be the result-oriented. These core principles of this initiative focus on poverty reduction, food security, health, climate, industrialization, and digital connectivity. Now, more than 100 countries and international organizations have collaborated to these initiatives as well, just like BRI have 150 plus. Linking all previous initiatives and concepts, including in BRI framework, development initiative, security initiative, and civilization initiative, and other multilateral and bilateral initiatives from 2025, the presidency floored the concept of global governance initiative, which is the main theme of today's discussions. The main aim of this to provide the institutional architect for all that lead the whole development and stability. Together, the GDI, GSI, GCI, and GGI now constitute China's most holistic and ambitious articulation, yet of an alternative vision for world order addressing development, security, civilization, and governance architecture as an integrated framework of human effort for the shared benefit. China is the second largest contributor to the United Nations budget as well, and the largest contributor of the peacekeeping troop among the 5 permanent members of the Security Council. Within the World Trade Organization, China has defended the existing rule-based trading order when it serves as in its interest and challenge it when it does not. Meanwhile, China's total import and export of goods reached to 45.4 trillion yuan in 2025 alone, up to 3.8% increase in year-on-year basis. The distinguished personalities, ladies and gentlemen, when I look toward the governance of the Chinese model, that in terms of institutional, economic, or other public governance, I deeply impressed by the main three leaders of the China. Chairman Mao Zedong, former President Deng Xiaoping, and the current President Xi Jinping, who leads the political, economic, and integrated governance structure of the People's Republic of China. The chairman led the political restructure, and the President Xi Jinping is leading the, and Deng Xiaoping led the economic restructure, and Xi Jinping is leading the integrated structure of governance of politics and development with Chinese characteristics. So Nepal and China have deep-rooted and historical relationship based on value, mutual respect, and win-win situation. Many Nepalese students and businessmen are living in China, in the different corner of the China. Myself stay there for 4 years, from the 2019 to 2023, during my PhD, and during that period, I tried to understand different approach of Chinese working modality and their governance system. Nepal can learn from Chinese governance practices being applied in some cases. Chinese project governance, tech governance, academic governance, and the natural resource-based solution governance are very impressive, as they provide a high level of economic productivity and efficiency. Now in 15th periodic plan, also focus on technology and innovating an AI-based industrial reform and service delivery model. The Chinese model of the education system and industrial governance are also a few major areas observed for the enhancement of public service delivery and effective utilization of public resource, like in Nepal's context. China is supporting Nepal's development through various frameworks. Both countries participate in the several multilateral platforms as well, including the Asian Infrastructure Development Bank, which Nepal is also the founding member of that bank, and the World Trade Organization, and many other platforms. Additionally, Nepal has signed the Belt and Road Initiative framework. Support is also provided for projects such as Kathmandu Ring Road, Pokhara Regional Airport, and other sport infrastructure, and many other private sectors investment as well. So the government of Nepal is committed to maintaining good governance and fostering mutual respect in relations with the China, guided by the 5 principles of international relations. Nepal consistently upholds the One China policy, and the both official and the political leaders are committing this frequently. Governance is not just a legal and institutional setup. It is increasingly recognized as the cornerstone of welfare, and the public and private sectors prioritize equal to ensure the well-being of the peoples. I believe the newly formed governments in Nepal is more focused on governance issues, since the focus on good governance agenda in the last election. Many of us think that governance challenges have hindered Nepal's development. So ladies and gentlemen, let me close with this reflection. The world does not benefit from the conflict. It does not benefit from the fragmentation of the global economy into the rival bloc, or the paralysis of the multilateral institutions by geopolitical rivalries. When the world needs urgently and desperately is effective global governance, governance that addresses the climate change before it becomes permanent. The governance that can change the risk of artificial intelligence before they become uncontrollable. Governance that can close the development gap before despair turns to the conflict. The China Governance Initiative, whatever their imperfection, whatever the legitimate questions they raise, it is significant for the global peace and prosperity. This initiative by China will be the roadmap for the next generation of governance across the world. And thank you so much for this wonderful event and listening my word, ladies and gentlemen. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sudan Oli, for your valuable and thought-provoking address. As Dr. Sudan mentioned about the GZI's major principles, that includes multilateralism, that includes respect for sovereignty, that includes the development-centered governance, the inclusivity and all. So we really believe that these principles are the major frameworks that will be very necessary for the geopolitical shifts and the environment that the world is going through globally. So moving forward, our next distinguished speaker of the session, Mr. Karma Dorji, who is also a former Minister of Industry, Commerce and Employment of Bhutan, to share his address, and may now kindly invite him to the stage.
Let me begin by thanking the organizers, friends on the cloud, platform of Influencers Nepal, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste, Kuzu Zangpo, and good afternoon from a fellow Himalayan neighbor, where we are connected by the Himalayas and pure pristine glaciers that connects us from its water, the source of life. It is a profound honor to stand before you today to speak on the Global South and China's governance. As a Buddhist citizen who deeply value our nation's philosophy of gross national happiness, GNH, that the core task of governance is to bring happiness to its people. I bring not just analysis, but personal reflections shaped by my own experience from Bhutan, as well as my study of China's remarkable journey. I have walked the trails of Bhutan, spoken with farmers in remote villages who measure progress not just by income, but by well-being, community bonds, and cultural pride. These experiences remind me daily why GNH, with its 4 pillars of good governance, sustainable social economic development, cultural preservation, and environmental conservation, remains our guiding light. It resonates powerfully with what I have learned from China's people-centered governance, particularly President Xi Jinping's vision of common prosperity and building a community of shared future for mankind, ideas that echo a global pursuit of happiness and balanced development. China's governance through Buddhist lens, China's achievement under the leadership of the Communist Party of China are nothing short of transformative. From lifting nearly 800 million people out of extreme poverty, an unparalleled feat in human history, to building world-class infrastructure and pursuing ecological civilization. China has shown what disciplined, long-term planning can achieve. President Xi's emphasis to common prosperity is especially inspiring. It is not about uniformity, but about ensuring that development benefits all and echoing both material and spiritual values. This mirrors Bhutan's GNH approach, where happiness is holistic, encompassing health, education, psychological well-being, and harmony with nature. During my time engaging with Bhutan's development work, I have seen how targeted interventions, improving rural roads, education, and healthcare uplift entire communities while preserving our pristine environment. China's targeted poverty alleviation strategy, with this precision mapping of the household, data-driven policies, offers practical lessons here. It demonstrates that with strong governance and people-first priorities, even the most challenging geographies can thrive. I recall visiting Bhutan, where hydropower projects and ecotourism have brought economic opportunities without sacrificing our forests or our cultural heritage. Similarly, China's shift towards green development, lucid waters, and lush mountains are invaluable assets. aligns beautifully with our constitutional mandate to maintain at least 60% forest cover. These are not abstract ideas, they are lived realities that enhance happiness for citizens. Respecting water, mountains, nature, a shared Himalayan heritage. Across the Himalayas, in China, Nepal, Bhutan, India, and Bangladesh, our people have long revered mountains as sacred abodes of gods and spirits, and rivers as lifelines of purity and fertility. Gautama Buddha, born in the Himalayan foothills of Lumbini in present-day Nepal, taught us the profound interdependence of all life. He emphasized living in harmony with nature, practicing non-harming, ahimsa, and understanding that our well-being is inseparable from the health of the environment. Buddhist traditions across our region remind us that mountains, forests, and rivers are not mere resources. They are living entities deserving respect and protection. In Bhutan, this is enshrined in our constitution and GNH. In Nepal and India, sacred peaks like Everest and Kailash, rivers like Ganges and Brahmaputras are worshipped. In Bangladesh, the delta's mighty river teach lessons of resilience and balance. And in China, the philosophy of ecological civilization beautifully complements this ancient wisdom, showing how modern governance can integrate reverence for nature into national policies. The balance of nature is a core requirement for true happiness. When we degrade our environment, we erode the very foundation of human well-being. Clean air, pure water, fertile soil, and spiritual peace. Therefore, this balance must be integrated into governance itself, not as an afterthought, but as a central pillar. Personal reflections and takeaway from Global South. As a Buddhist, I stand at the crossroad of two great Asian civilization, one ancient and vast, the other small yet resolute in its unique path. Bhutan does not have formal diplomatic relations with China yet, but we share the Himalaya, spirit of mutual respect, sovereignty, and peaceful coexistence. My personal interactions and observations of cross-border goodwill, cultural exchanges, and people-to-people connections give me hope for deeper collaboration in the future, one that respects our unique identities while learning from each other. Here are some key implications I draw from Global South infused with Buddhist perspective. Happiness and well-being as core governance goal. GDP is important, but insufficient. Bhutan's GNH and China's focus on common prosperity teach us to measure success by how people feel, their security, community ties, and spiritual fulfillment. For nations in the Global South, integrating well-being indicators into policy can prevent the pitfalls of unbalanced growth. Poverty elevation with cultural and environmental integrity. China's success proves that rapid poverty reduction is possible without erasing cultural identity. In Bhutan, we have reduced poverty significantly while safeguarding our Buddhist heritage and biodiversity. The lessons combine infrastructure and economic opportunities with targeted support that respect local contexts. Long-term vision and stability. China's 5-year plan and strategic continuity provide stability that attracts investment and enables transformation. Bhutan's own multi-year plan under GNH demonstrates similar insights. For the Global South, building institutional resilience beyond our short-term politics is vital. South-South cooperation and mutual learning. President Xi's Global Development Initiative and Belt and Road projects emphasizes win-win partnership. For a small nation like Bhutan, nestled between giants, such cooperation, balanced with our close ties to our neighboring countries and commitment to gross national happiness, can unlock hydropower, tourism, digital connectivity, and sustainable agriculture. I believe stronger people-to-people ties, knowledge exchanges, and respectful dialogues will benefit us all. Personal call to action in my visits across Bhutan, from rice fields to fields of Punakha to the highlands of Bumthang, I have witnessed the quiet determination of our people to pursue happiness on our own terms. China's experience reinforced that we in the Global South need not choose between growth and well-being. We can have both through pragmatic governance, innovation, and solidarity. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, as a Bhutanese who cherishes cross-national happiness, I see in China's governance a powerful partner in the quest for human happiness and shared prosperity. The mountains that divide us physically connect us spiritually. Let this forum in Kathmandu be a starting point to a deeper reflection, collaboration, and action. May we draw wisdom from China's journey, enrich it with Bhutan's gentle philosophy of happiness, and together build a more equitable, peaceful, and joyful world for the Global South and beyond. Thank you, Tashtile. I look forward to our future discourse.
Thank you very much, Mr. Karma Durji, for your insightful and meaningful address. Yes, happiness. He majorly emphasized about what happiness means and how does it impact on today's world. The pursuing happiness on our own terms, and also his reflections on the Himalayan region, its ecological significance, and its strategic importance within the border, and the regional cooperation have certainly added a very valuable dimension to today's discussion. And also, he very thoughtfully connected this perspectives to the evolving global framework, such as the global governance initiatives and also the role of the Global South. And now we are proceeding to the next segment of the program, and we have Dr. Muhammad Belal Hussain Nazim, ophthalmologist and also assistant health
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, namaste. I'm Dr. Belal from Bangladesh, and it's a privilege and an honor to be here today and share a few words with you. Thanks to Friends on the Cloud for everything. It is not only geography, but also shared culture, heritage, and history that connects both Bangladesh and Nepal. Nepal and Bangladesh faced remarkably similar challenges in recent past. In case of Bangladesh, for more than a decade, the autocratic previous government rigged election, suppressed the people's voice through repressive laws, police cases executed numerous enforced disappearance, and killed people protesting for their rights. However, every long night has a dawn. And after more than a decade of oppression, our students and mass people took to the street and overthrew the autocratic government through mass uprising in August 2024. Not so surprisingly, just in a year, in 2025, the Nepalese youth brought change in Nepal. Nepal has also fought against corruption, broken system, and rampant unemployment. While our situation were not fully identical, but our demands and underlying philosophies share a deep similarity. Let's keep in mind that uprising is just the beginning of a long journey ahead. Following the uprising in our country, public expectations soared. However, excessively high expectation can lead to unique problems. After the uprising in 2024, an interim government was formed in Bangladesh. While the interim government attempted to reform everything, all at once within a short time frame, they failed miserably. On the other hand, our party, BNP, took a realistic and pragmatic approach. We emphasized that every single issue could not be solved overnight. Rather, interim government should focus on one of the fundamental elements of modern democracy, election. We advocated to build a resilient and robust election system. This ensures that no one can resort to unfair means in the future, forcing every subsequent government to remain accountable during their tenure. As we have seen the previous administration transform into fascist, one precisely because they were able to control the electoral process without needing the people's votes. Finally, a free, fair, participatory election was held in 2026, and the Bangladesh Nationalist Party formed the government after winning a resounding victory of two-thirds majority. Immediately after the formation of government, our Honorable Prime Minister Tariq Rahman made law and order situation his top priority, and within only 3 months, we are in far better position than we could have imagined. My dear friends, as like Bangladesh, we believe the people of Nepal have been granted a vital opportunity to reform their own systems, and we hope Nepal shines brightly in the future. New government has been formed in Nepal too, and under the leadership of Prime Minister Balendra Shah, we believe Nepal will make the dream of young Nepalese come true. Ladies and gentlemen, moving on the topic of China's governance and the Global South, I recently visited China alongside several Nepali friends. We observed many fascinating aspects of the country, including their breathtaking landscapes, rapid innovation, and governance structures spanning both capital cities and rural areas. As we all know, the Global South represents the majority of the world's population. China has launched numerous initiatives targeting this region, positioning itself as a development partner that operates without political interference. Countries in the Global South face unique political complexities, complex public mindset, and long histories of administrative mismanagement. Our people fiercely dislike external interference and prefer to maintain their sovereignty, yet we simultaneously crave development. We desperately need good governance, job security, and progress. We love our land. We deeply value our voices. During my time in China, I observed their one-stop civil service center where citizens can access all public services in a single location, effectively bypassing bureaucratic red tape and harassment. We witnessed their protected wetlands and how they are actively combating climate change. We saw their river management system, which assigns a single accountable individual to oversee each river. Furthermore, we observed how they manage their villages by creating localized employment, utilizing land economically and advancing agricultural technologies. Their robotic development and tech-driven city management were equally impressive, as was their dedication to preserving cultural heritage too. Our host also introduced us to their political system. I believe the Global South needs to address their own problem by themselves, and without any doubt, Global South is more than capable of achieving that. Our Honorable Prime Minister Tariq Rahman, upon his return to Bangladesh, after more than a decade, said that I have a plan. We are now working together to implement the plan to solve our problems with our resources. At the same time, we hope that we will see Nepal shining in near future and Global South rising to the task and bridge the gap with Global North. with their hard work, dedication, and patriotism. Thank you. Thank you, friends on the cloud, once again. Long live Nepal-Bangladesh friendship.
Thank you so much, Dr. Muhammad Bilal Hussain, for your insightful address. And of course, your remarks offered valuable perspectives on Bangladesh's current political and governance context, along with broader reflections on development and regional dynamics as well. So we really appreciate your contribution to today's dialogue on the Global South and its evolving governance frameworks. Now, moving forward with the next segment of the program, it is my pleasure to invite Dr. Renu Rana, Professor of International Relations, Flame University, India, to share her address, who is also from Foundation for Liberal and Management Education University, is from Flame University. Over to you, ma'am.
Good evening, distinguished guests, respected dignitaries, respected representatives from the Embassy of People's Republic of China, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense pleasure to be present here today in Nepal, a land of profound traditions, civilizational depth, and geographical confluence. Time here carries a vast civilizational memory, millions of years shaping the Himalayas, and several more, witnessing the convergence of human civilizations. Not to forget, this is also the land of Adi and Ant. Nepal is a meeting point of civilizations and ideas, and today, we gather here for another meaningful confluence, the confluence of ideas on the Global South and China's governance experience. Change is eternal. Our world today is witnessing transformations in technology, economics, governance, and global power structures at an unprecedented pace. The Global South in particular is experiencing a period of renewed assertion and growing confidence. As nations seek development models suited to their own societies and histories, there is increasing interest in understanding different paths of governance and modernization. In this context, China occupies an important place in contemporary global discourse, from culture and commerce to technological advancement and governance. China has emerged as one of the central actors shaping the 21st century. As someone who has closely engaged with China through academic and lived experiences, and as an Indian, I have always been deeply curious about China, not merely as a rising power, but also as a civilization with its own historical experiences, philosophical traditions, and developmental journey. Many discussions about China are often framed through distinct perceptions and assumptions. However, experiencing China directly offers a far more nuanced understanding. As they often say in China, seeing is believing. Living in China and observing Chinese society closely was not only academically enriching for me, but also personally transformative. It allowed me to understand the relationship between governance, society, culture, and everyday life in a much deeper way. So now, let me come to share my experiences from China. One of the most striking aspects of Chinese society is the emphasis placed on social responsibility, discipline, and collective harmony. The idea of development in China is not viewed only through the lens of economics, but also through social organization, public participation, and long-term planning. There is a strong belief that individual progress and national progress are interconnected. Another important feature I observed was the respect for history, heritage, and the environment. Mountains, rivers, historical spaces, and cultural traditions are not treated merely as physical entities or tourist attractions. They are seen as living components of civilizational continuity. China has invested significantly in preserving historical sites, maintaining urban and rural infrastructure, and integrating cultural heritage into modern life. This creates a powerful connection between past, present, and future generations. China is also a deeply diverse and vibrant society. Beyond popular stereotypes, it is ethically diverse, culturally layered. Different cuisines, dialects, traditions, and local identities coexist within a broader national framework. This diversity contributes to social vibrancy, innovation, and a stronger sense of belonging among people. Another point which I want to highlight is the role of youth in India. I believe the role of youth in China. I believe the role of youth in China is particularly noteworthy. During my time there, I witnessed how energetic, disciplined, and future-oriented young people are. They are highly conscious of their role in the society and actively participating in shaping the future of their nation. This is something I believe many societies can draw inspirations from. Lastly, in the past decades, I have seen China has embedded technology in most aspects of human life. Technology is no longer a science experiment. It has become accessible to ordinary citizens in their daily lives. From transportation, digital payments, to governance and public services, transportation and technology has been embedded into society at a remarkable scale. China demonstrates that modernization and technological advancements can emerge through models shaped by local realities and national priorities. If I may say, inclusion, not exclusion, leads to common prosperity and growth. The more we engage with one another, the richer our collective experiences and partnerships become. Today, the world is witnessing major geopolitical and economic transitions. In such times, countries of Global South must not remain mere spectators to global change. We must actively participate in shaping the future through dialogue, innovation, mutual respect, and shared prosperity. As we gather here today to exchange ideas and perspectives, I hope this discussion continues not only to deeper mutual understanding, but also to stronger people-to-people connections and greater regional cooperation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Renu Rana, a final speaker of today's event. And your reflection on Nepal, China, and India offered a very meaningful conversation and also highlighted major things that included the dynamics, the interdependence, and also the importance of the cooperation in shaping the future of the Global South. So, moving forward, we will now like to move towards the closing segment of today's program. And for that, I would like to invite Mr. Sovit Upriti, event chairperson, for the closing remarks and the token of love presentation. Over to you, sir.
Good evening, and thank you for accept our invitation and come here and our dialogue about the GGI. GGI is a new innovation of the President Xi Jinping for Global South development, prosperity, unity. We already talked about these things. We already discussed these things. I think much more, no need to explain to you, all of you. So we are inviting to you, and you, with each other, we are going to closing the year in the formal this program after giving some token of love. I invite to Mr. Madan Das Shrestha, Kumar Karki, and Navaraj to provide the token of love and our guest on behalf of Friend of the Cloud. After that, we are close this formal program. Then after that, also we have some small program, informal program. We are waiting for that also. Please take time for a few minutes. Manandai Kumar, Timari, seat me. Please provide the token of love in the seat. Where in the where? You look the name, according to name, Manisha help to them. Help to them. अनि त्यो त्यही सिटमै बसेकै ठाउँमा दिने त्यही बसेकै ठाउँमा दिने पहिला क्रमशः दिनु फर एम्बेसडर गिभ टु चाइनिज एम्बेसी सेकेन्ड सेक्रेटरी या आवाज आयो आवाज कहाँ आयो मनिषाको पनि तिमीले ल्याउनु मन्दा मनिषाको पनि छ नि त सबै स्पिकरहरूलाई हाम्रो टकन उपलब्ध छ मनिषाको पनि ल्याइदेऊ कुमार After this, I invite to Mr. Krishna Malla, Nepal, Chairman Nepal Film Society, and Sunil Katwal in front. We want to invite Sunil Katwal and Krishna Malla. आज हाम्रो फ्रेन्ड अफ द क्लाउडलाई पूर्णतः सहयोग गरिराख्नु भएका सुनिल कटवाल नेपाल कलाकार सङ्घको महासचिवमा निर्वाचित हुनुभएकोले उहाँलाई हाम्रो तर्फबाट हामी बधाई ज्ञापन गर्दैछौँ। सिनियर एक्टर कृष्ण मल्ल एन्ड सुनिल कटवाल प्लिज कम हियर एन्ड प्लिज प्रोभाइड भन्दै उहाँ फ्रम चाइनिज एम्बेसी कुमार त्यहाँ देऊ न भनिन्छ एमएससीको सोध्यो न म भनिदिन्छु भइहाल्छ त्यहाँ देऊ न एमएससीको सेकेन्ड सेक्रेटरीलाई देऊ After this, all the formal program are finished now. We are going to take one group photo. Anybody can join in here for group photo.
Thank you very much to all our distinguished speakers and
यो पछाडि गेस्टहरूलाई हाम्रो नयाँ पर्यटन गन्तव्य सैलुङको फोटो दिने कार्यक्रम छ। त्यसमा नवराज रुद्र खड्का र राजेन्द्र उप्रेतीले सबै आजका हाम्रा अन्तर्राष्ट्रिय राष्ट्रिय गेस्टहरूलाई दिनको लागि अनुरोध गरे। त्यही बसेकै ठाउँमा त्यही लगेर फ्रेम दिने। यो चाहिँ इन्फर्मल प्रोग्राम हो। नयाँ टुरिस्ट डेस्टिनेसन अफ नेपाल, न्यू टुरिस्ट डेस्टिनेसन अफ नेपाल।
Thank you very much to all our distinguished speakers and guests for their valuable presence and contributions. Now, this is the end of our formal program.
हामी डिनरको तयारी गरेर 5-10 मिनट लाग्छ होला, त्यति बेरसम्म अनौपचारिक कुराकानी गरिदिएर हामीलाई साथ दिनुहुन अनुरोध गर्छौँ। अब हामी एकछिनपछि हाम्रो डिनर सुरु हुन्छ, त्यति बेरसम्म अनौपचारिक इन्फर्मल रूपमा बसिदिनु होला, कृपया खाएर मात्रै गइदिनु होला। र ड्रिङ्क्स र स्न्याक्स चाहिँ बाहिर तयार भएको छ, बाहिरी हलमा जाँदा मिल्छ। पाउनुभयो नि